Far beyond the outer spiral of the galaxy, there was a place where the most powerful beings in the universe gathered. It was called the Galactic Council. The council chamber was enormous. It floated inside a massive space station built long ago by an ancient civilization. The walls were made of dark metal and glowing crystal. Tall pillars reached high into the ceiling. Between them, thousands of lights shined like distant stars. In the center of the chamber stood a circular platform made of bright energy. Above it floated a giant hologram of the galaxy. Billions of stars slowly moved inside the glowing projection. Around the platform sat representatives from hundreds of alien civilizations. Some were tall and thin with silver skin. Some looked like walking crystals. Others had wings, scales, or glowing eyes. Every species in the galaxy had a voice here. Normally, the council was calm and quiet. Meetings were slow and careful. Decisions were made only after long discussion. But today was different. Today, the council had gathered for an emergency meeting. The atmosphere inside the chamber felt heavy. No one spoke loudly. Many leaders whispered to each other while staring at the glowing galaxy map. Something serious was about to happen. At the edge of the council circle stood a young alien officer. His uniform was dark blue with bright golden lines. A symbol of a rising empire shined on his chest. His name was Commander Ralvek. Ralvek was young compared to the ancient beings in the chamber, but he was confident. His people were strong, proud, and growing quickly among the stars. When the council leader gave him permission to speak, Ralvek stepped forward. The giant hologram above the chamber changed. The wide view of the galaxy slowly zoomed in. Stars moved aside. Nebula clouds drifted away. Soon the projection stopped at a small yellow star system. A tiny blue planet appeared. Several council members immediately became quiet. Ralvek raised his voice proudly. "Honored members of the council," he began. "My empire has been studying this system for many cycles." He pointed toward the small blue planet. "This world is called Earth." Some alien leaders shifted in their seats. Others looked down at their consoles. But Ralvek did not notice their reactions. He continued speaking with excitement. "Earth has a growing civilization called humans. Their technology is still primitive. They have only recently begun exploring their own star system." He paused for a moment, then spoke the words that would shock the entire chamber. "My empire proposes a full invasion of Earth." For a moment, nothing happened. The chamber became completely silent. No one moved. No one spoke. Even the glowing galaxy map seemed frozen in the air. Ralvek looked around, confused by the strange reaction. He expected discussion. He expected debate. But instead, the council members looked uncomfortable. Some even looked afraid. Finally, a low sound echoed through the chamber. It was not anger. It was laughter. But it was not friendly laughter. It was a quiet, tired laughter of someone hearing a terrible idea. From the far side of the chamber, an ancient figure slowly stood up. The being was extremely old. His skin looked like polished stone, and faint blue light glowed beneath its surface. Long robes covered his body, marked with symbols of great authority. He was one of the oldest members of the Galactic Council. The chamber grew even quieter as he walked toward the center platform. Every eye turned toward him. The ancient elder looked at the hologram of Earth. For a long moment he said nothing. Then he slowly turned toward Commander Ralvek. His voice was calm, deep and heavy with age. "Invade Earth." He paused. His glowing eyes narrowed slightly. "Commander, have you lost your mind?" The words echoed across the giant chamber. Ralvek blinked in surprise. He had expected questions, maybe even disagreement. But this reaction made no sense. He straightened his posture and answered confidently. "With respect, honored elder, Earth is a minor world. Their technology is weak compared to ours." He pointed at the hologram again. "They have no advanced star fleets, no powerful defenses. Their civilization is divided into many nations." Ralvek spread his arms. "They are the perfect target for expansion." The silence in the chamber grew heavier. Several council members exchanged worried looks. One tall, insect-like representative whispered something to his neighbor. A floating crystalline leader slowly dimmed its lights. Ralvek began to feel uncomfortable. Why was everyone reacting this way? Finally, another council member spoke. This one was a historian from a very old species known for studying the past of the galaxy. He activated a small hologram beside him. It displayed many records and ancient images of Earth. The historian looked directly at the young commander. "Tell me, Commander," he said slowly, "how much do you truly know about humans?" Ralvek answered immediately. "They are a young species from a dangerous planet. Their history is filled with conflict and war." The historian nodded. "That part is correct." Then the historian looked around the chamber. Many of the oldest council members lowered their heads. Some looked deeply troubled. The historian sighed softly. "Yes, humans are from a dangerous world." He turned the hologram again. Images of storms, volcanoes, and violent oceans appeared. "But that is not the reason we fear them." Ralvek frowned. "Fear them?" The historian met his eyes. "Yes, Commander." Then he spoke words that made the entire chamber uneasy. "Because every empire that underestimated humans later regretted it." The room fell silent again. Ralvek looked around the chamber. Now he saw something he had not noticed before. The powerful leaders of the galaxy, the beings who ruled thousands of star systems, they were not laughing anymore. They were remembering something. Something dangerous. Something terrifying. And for the first time since entering the chamber, Commander Ralvek began to feel a small, uncomfortable question forming in his mind. What if invading Earth was actually a very bad idea? The great chamber of the Galactic Council remained silent after the historian's warning. Commander Ralvek stood in the center of the glowing platform, still staring at the blue planet floating in the hologram above him. Earth looked small, peaceful, fragile. He could not understand why the most powerful leaders in the galaxy seemed nervous about such a simple target. Ralvek crossed his arms. "With respect," he said, trying to stay calm, "my empire has studied this world carefully. Humans are divided into many nations. They fight each other often. Their technology is still developing." He pointed toward the hologram. "They should not be a threat to the galaxy." The historian watched him quietly. Then the old scholar slowly walked toward the center of the chamber. "Commander," he said gently, "you are not wrong about human history. Humans do fight each other. Their world has seen many wars." The hologram changed again. Now it showed images of Earth's past. Cities burning, armies marching, explosions lighting up dark skies. Ralvek nodded proudly. "You see? They destroy themselves." But the historian shook his head. "No, Commander, that is not what you should see." The images shifted again. Now, the projection showed something different. People rebuilding cities after disasters. Doctors saving lives. Scientists working together. Families helping each other during floods and storms. "Humans fight," the historian said, "but they also survive." He pressed a glowing symbol on his console. The hologram zoomed out from human history and began showing Earth itself. Violent storms crashed across oceans. Massive earthquakes shook continents. Volcanoes exploded with rivers of fire. Freezing ice covered entire regions. The historian turned toward the council. "Most intelligent species in the galaxy evolved on stable worlds," he explained. "Planets with calm weather, gentle oceans, and safe environments." Several alien representatives nodded. Their home planets were peaceful and predictable. But Earth was different. The historian pointed to the storms again. "Earth is what we call a death world." Ralvek frowned. He had heard the term before. Death worlds were planets with extreme conditions where survival was very difficult. But intelligent life rarely evolved on such planets. The historian continued. Humans did not grow on a safe world. Their planet constantly tried to destroy them. The hologram showed hurricanes tearing apart cities, floods swallowing towns, lightning storms covering the sky. "Every year," the historian said quietly, "their world tests them." Ralvek watched the images carefully, but something still confused him. "Then humans should be weak," he said. "They should struggle to survive." A low sound came from one of the council members. It sounded like amusement. The historian smiled slightly. That is what many species believed. He touched his console again. The hologram now showed early humans on ancient Earth. Small groups of people walked across frozen lands. They hunted dangerous animals. They built shelters in harsh environments. They survived ice ages, the historian explained. They survived giant predators. They survived diseases that could destroy entire civilizations. The images continued changing. Now the projection showed modern humans, building machines, launching rockets, exploring space. In only a few thousand years, the historian said, humans moved from stone tools to space travel. The chamber grew quiet again. Ralvek watched the hologram carefully. His confidence was slowly fading. Yes, he admitted, their progress is impressive, but they are still far behind the great empires of the galaxy. Another council member spoke. This one was tall and thin, with glowing green eyes. Our species once believed the same thing. The alien said calmly. Ralvek turned toward him. What happened? The alien leaned forward slightly. We observed humans many centuries ago. His eyes narrowed as he remembered something unpleasant. At the time, they were still primitive. They had not yet developed advanced space travel. Ralvek waited for him to continue. We believed they were harmless. The alien paused. That assumption was incorrect. The chamber became silent again. The historian raised his hand. Commander Ralvek, you must understand something important about humans. Ralvek listened carefully now. They are not the strongest species in the galaxy. They are not the smartest. They are not the most advanced. Ralvek felt a little relieved hearing that. But the historian was not finished. What makes humans dangerous, he continued slowly, is something far more powerful. The hologram showed humans climbing mountains, exploring deep oceans, surviving terrible disasters. They refused to give up. The historian's voice became serious. When humans face danger, they do not surrender. When they lose, they learn. When they fall, they stand again. The projection now showed human soldiers protecting civilians, rescue teams saving people during earthquakes, astronauts risking their lives to explore space. They fight for survival in ways most species cannot understand. Ralvek looked around the chamber. Now he noticed something strange. Many council members were watching the hologram with deep respect. Not fear, respect. The historian spoke again. Humans have a saying on their world. Ralvek looked at him. What saying? The historian repeated the words carefully. What does not kill us makes us stronger. The chamber became silent again. Ralvek looked back at the hologram of Earth. For the first time, the small blue planet did not look weak. It looked stubborn, dangerous. Still, he tried to defend his idea. Even if humans are resilient, he said slowly, they cannot defeat a powerful galactic empire. Before anyone else could answer, another elder spoke from the far side of the chamber. His voice was dark and serious. That is exactly what another empire once believed. Ralvek turned toward the voice. The elder's expression was grim. And that mistake, the elder continued quietly, became one of the greatest disasters in galactic history. Ralvek felt a chill run through his body. He looked back at the glowing planet Earth. Now a new question filled his mind. What exactly had humans done to make the galaxy fear them? The answer, he realized, was about to be revealed. The chamber of the Galactic Council grew darker as the hologram above the platform changed again. Commander Ralvek stood quietly now. The confidence he once had was slowly fading. The stories about humans were already strange enough, but the last words from the elder made the room feel even heavier. One empire already tried, the elder had said. Ralvek looked at the ancient figure across the chamber. What happened to them? He asked carefully. The elder did not answer immediately. Instead, he raised his long hand and activated a new holographic display. A different star system appeared in the air. It was far from Earth. The elder began to speak. Long ago, before humans even built their first rockets, there was a powerful civilization called the Xylar Dominion. Murmurs spread across the council chamber. Many leaders clearly recognized the name. Ralvek did not. The elder continued. The Xylar were strong. Their fleets controlled dozens of star systems. Their technology was far beyond anything humans had at the time. The hologram showed large alien warships traveling through space. They believed no young species could challenge them. The elder looked directly at Ralvek, and that belief made them careless. The hologram zoomed toward the planet Earth, but the Earth shown in the projection looked different from the one before. Its cities were smaller. Its technology was simpler. This was Earth many centuries ago. At that time, the elder explained, humans had not yet reached their moon. Their world was still divided into many nations. Ralvek nodded. So the Xylar attacked? The elder shook his head slowly. No, they believed an invasion was unnecessary. Instead, the projection showed a small fleet of sleek alien ships entering Earth's orbit. The Xylar only wanted to study humans. The fleet sent small scouting ships toward the planet. Their mission was simple: capture a few humans, study their biology, then leave. The elder paused for a moment. Everything should have gone smoothly. The hologram showed a small alien ship landing secretly in a remote forest on Earth. Several Xylar soldiers stepped outside. They scanned the area. No advanced weapons, no powerful defenses, just a quiet forest. It seemed like an easy mission, but something unexpected happened. The historian continued the story. A group of humans discovered the landing site. The projection showed several humans approaching the alien ship carefully. They were not soldiers. They were simple explorers and scientists who had been studying the forest. At first, the humans were shocked. They had never seen aliens before. But the Xylar soldiers were not worried. The humans had primitive equipment. They could not possibly be a threat. The soldiers captured 2 humans easily and returned to their ship. Mission complete. Simple. Easy. Or so they thought. The elder slowly moved his hand. The hologram changed again. Humans are curious creatures, he said. They ask questions about everything. The captured humans inside the alien ship carefully studied their surroundings. They watched the alien technology. They listened to the Xylar language. And they waited. The elder's voice became darker. Humans may appear weak, he continued, but they're always thinking. Inside the alien ship, the humans noticed something important. A control panel that was not fully secured. A door that opened when certain sounds were made. A security pattern that repeated every few minutes. The humans began to test things. Slowly, carefully, and eventually, they escaped. Ralvek leaned forward. 2 unarmed humans escaped from an alien research ship? Yes, the elder said simply. The hologram showed the humans moving quietly through the ship. They avoided guards. They hid inside dark corridors. And while exploring, they found something even more valuable. Alien technology, advanced weapons, control systems. The humans did not fully understand the devices, but humans have a powerful skill: improvisation. One of the humans accidentally triggered a system that shut down part of the ship. Lights flickered, doors locked, alarm signals filled the corridors. The Xylar soldiers rushed to control the situation, but the chaos had already begun. The humans used the confusion to escape the ship. They returned to Earth carrying pieces of alien equipment. The elder looked around the council chamber. That moment changed everything. The hologram showed human scientists studying the alien technology. They worked day and night trying to understand it. They could not copy everything, but they learned enough to begin developing new ideas, new inventions, new technology. Ralvek slowly realized something frightening. Those 2 humans brought alien technology back to Earth. The historian nodded. Yes, and humans learned very quickly. Within a few decades, human scientists made huge progress. New machines were created. New theories were developed. Human technology began moving forward faster than ever before. Meanwhile, the Xylar Dominion panicked. They sent another fleet to erase their mistake. This time the mission was not peaceful. It was an attack. The hologram showed Xylar warships approaching Earth again. But this time, the humans were ready. They had studied the alien systems. They had built new weapons. Not perfect copies, but clever adaptations. Human defense forces attacked the Xylar fleet with unexpected tactics. They used missiles, traps, and experimental technologies based on stolen alien knowledge. The battle was chaotic. The Xylar fleet was stronger, but the humans were unpredictable. Eventually, the Xylar ships were forced to retreat. The mission had failed. The Elder finished the story quietly. That day, the galaxy learned an important lesson. Ralvek stared at the hologram of Earth. "What lesson?" he asked softly. The Elder answered with a serious expression. "Never give humans a chance to study your technology." The chamber fell silent again. Ralvek now understood why the council looked nervous earlier. But one thought still troubled him. If humans were that dangerous, he asked slowly, why didn't the Xylar return with a larger fleet and destroy them? The Elder looked at him with calm eyes. They considered that option. Ralvek waited. "What stopped them?" he asked. The Elder turned toward the hologram of Earth one more time. His answer was quiet, because by the time they were ready to attack again, humans had already become much stronger. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council remained silent after the story of the Xylar Dominion. Commander Ralvek stood in the center of the glowing platform. The hologram of Earth slowly rotated above him like a quiet blue jewel. But now the planet did not look simple anymore. It looked mysterious, dangerous. Ralvek took a slow breath and looked toward the elders of the council. "I understand that humans are clever," he said carefully. "But clever species exist everywhere in the galaxy. Intelligence alone cannot defeat a powerful empire." Several council members exchanged quiet glances. One tall alien with silver skin slowly stood up from his seat. His species was known across the galaxy as expert strategists. Their civilizations had studied thousands of wars over many centuries. When he spoke, his voice was calm and serious. "Commander," he said, "the danger of humans is not only their intelligence." He pressed a control on his arm device. The hologram above the platform changed again. Now it showed scenes from human history. Old battlefields, burned cities, broken machines. It looked like a record of endless war. "Humans fight often," the strategist said. "They fight each other. They fight their environment. They fight anything that threatens their survival." Ralvek crossed his arms again. "That only proves they are violent." The strategist shook his head. "No, it proves something far more dangerous." The hologram zoomed closer to one of the old battlefields. Human soldiers were shown using primitive weapons compared to modern galactic technology. But the soldiers were working together, helping each other, protecting injured allies. They cooperate under pressure, the strategist explained. Most species panic when facing extinction, but humans do something different. The image changed again. Now it showed human scientists working in laboratories, engineers building machines, inventors testing new ideas. When humans are threatened, the strategist continued, their creativity increases. Ralvek frowned slightly. "What do you mean?" Another council member answered before the strategist could speak. This one was a floating being made of glowing crystal. Soft light pulsed through its body as it spoke. Humans improve faster during war. The hologram showed a timeline of human technology. In only a few centuries, humans had moved from simple machines to complex technology. Then rockets, then satellites, then space stations. The crystal being dimmed its light slightly. In peaceful times, human progress is slow. But when danger appears or innovation explodes, Ralvek watched the timeline carefully. It was true. The speed of human development during conflict was astonishing. Still, he tried to defend his argument. But their technology is still far behind galactic civilizations. Yes, the strategist agreed. But the problem is not where humans are today. He looked directly at Ralvek. The problem is how fast they change. The hologram showed an example from human history. During one of their world wars, humans developed powerful new machines in only a few years. Aircraft became faster. Weapons became stronger. Communication improved rapidly. It was a period of intense invention. The galaxy has watched this pattern many times, the strategist explained. When humans face a powerful enemy, they become extremely creative. Ralvek slowly began to understand the concern. "You mean they adapt quickly?" "Yes," the strategist said. "But adaptation is only part of the problem." Another elder spoke from the far side of the chamber. This elder belonged to an ancient species that had observed Earth for thousands of years. His voice was low and thoughtful. There's another human trait that many species fail to understand. The hologram changed again. Now it showed humans helping each other during disasters. People rescuing strangers from floods. Firefighters running into burning buildings. Doctors treating wounded people in dangerous conditions. Ralvek looked confused. This does not look dangerous. The elder smiled faintly. That is because you do not yet understand the power of human loyalty. He pointed to the images. Humans form strong bonds with each other. Family, friends, communities. And when these bonds are threatened, humans become extremely protective. The hologram changed again. Now it showed human soldiers defending their home planet. Their faces were determined. Their movements were fearless. They fight not only for survival, the elder explained. They fight for people they love. The chamber grew quiet again. Several council members nodded in agreement. Ralvek thought about this carefully. Many species protect their families, he said. Yes, the elder replied. But humans often protect complete strangers. The hologram showed rescue teams saving people they had never met before. Humans risking their lives to help others. This behavior is unusual in the galaxy, the elder said. It means humans can unite very quickly when facing a common threat. Ralvek suddenly remembered something from the earlier story. The Xylar fleet. The elder nodded. Yes. When the Xylar Dominion attacked Earth again, something unexpected happened. The hologram displayed a map of Earth. Human nations that normally disagreed with each other suddenly began cooperating. Military forces shared information. Scientists shared research. Engineers worked together across borders. For a short time, the elder explained, human divisions disappeared. They became one united defense. Ralvek felt a strange chill. You were saying an attack would unite them. Yes, the strategist answered calmly. And that is the most dangerous situation possible. The hologram slowly returned to the image of Earth floating peacefully in space. So long as humans are divided, the strategist continued, they are manageable. But if an outside force threatens their planet, he paused. They unite. The elder finished the thought quietly. And a united humanity is far more powerful than most empires expect. Ralvek stared at the glowing blue world. The planet no longer seemed like an easy target. Now it looked like something else. Something unpredictable. Still, one question remained in his mind. If humans are so dangerous, he asked slowly, why has the galaxy not already stopped them from expanding? The chamber became silent again. Several elders exchanged serious looks. Finally, the oldest council member spoke. His voice was calm, but there was deep warning in it, because attacking humanity too early might create something far worse. Ralvek frowned. What could be worse than humans becoming powerful? The elder looked at the rotating Earth. His answer was quiet. Humans becoming angry. The chamber of the Galactic Council felt colder than before. Commander Ralvek stood quietly in the center of the platform. The glowing hologram of Earth continued to spin slowly above him. The blue oceans reflected soft light across the faces of the council members. The last words of the elder still echoed in Ralvek's mind. Humans becoming angry. Ralvek took a deep breath. With respect, he said slowly, anger alone cannot defeat an empire. Several council members gave small, tired smiles. The oldest elder stepped forward again. His long robes moved softly across the floor of the chamber. You are correct, Commander, the elder said calmly. Anger alone is not dangerous. He lifted his hand toward the hologram. But anger combined with human determination, the elder paused, can change the fate of entire civilizations. The hologram above the platform suddenly transformed. Instead of showing the peaceful Earth, it now displayed a simulation, a projected future, a possible war. A red alien fleet appeared near Earth's orbit. Hundreds of warships surrounded the small blue planet. Ralvek immediately recognized the scenario. This is an invasion simulation, he said. The elder nodded. Yes, this simulation has been studied many times by the Council. The projection zoomed closer to the planet. Alien ships fired powerful energy weapons toward Earth's defenses. Human satellites were destroyed. Space stations exploded. Military bases across the planet were attacked. In the first stage of the simulation, humanity suffered terrible losses. The hologram showed panic across the planet. Cities went dark. Communication networks failed. Human leaders struggled to organize their defenses. Ralvek crossed his arms confidently. "You see," he said, "their technology cannot match a galactic fleet." The strategist from earlier spoke quietly. "Watch carefully." The simulation continued. At first, the humans were overwhelmed. Their weapons were weaker. Their ships were slower. But then something began to change. Human scientists started studying fragments of alien technology left behind after battles. Engineers dismantled damaged alien machines. Military leaders analyzed alien tactics. Within only a few years, human technology began to evolve. New weapons appeared. Faster spacecraft were built. Strange hybrid machines combining human and alien technology were created. Ralvek leaned closer to the projection. "That development speed is impossible," he said. The strategist shook his head. "Not for humans." The simulation timeline accelerated. 10 years passed. Human fleets became larger. Their ships were still less advanced than alien vessels, but they were far more numerous. More importantly, they were unpredictable. Human commanders began using strange battle tactics. They attacked in unusual formations. They used traps, decoys, and risky strategies. Sometimes they even sacrificed ships to create opportunities for victory. One council member spoke quietly. "Humans are willing to take risks most species would avoid." The simulation continued. 20 years passed. Human engineers created entirely new technologies inspired by alien designs. Energy shields, improved propulsion systems, advanced sensors. None of them were perfect copies, but humans improved them in their own unique ways. Soon the balance of power in the simulation began to shift. The alien fleet started losing battles. Ralvek's confident expression slowly disappeared. "That cannot be correct," he whispered. The elder spoke calmly. "The simulation is based on historical patterns of human development." The hologram continued forward in time. 30 years after the invasion began, the situation changed dramatically. Human fleets now traveled beyond their solar system. Their technology had improved rapidly. They had built massive shipyards in space. Entire industries were focused on war production. The once weak planet had transformed into a powerful military system. Ralvek watched in silence. The simulation showed the alien empire slowly losing control of the war. Human fleets began pushing invaders back. Then something even more troubling happened. Human forces started attacking enemy star systems. The war spread across space. The empire that had once invaded Earth was now fighting for its own survival. The chamber of the Galactic Council remained silent as the simulation reached its final stage. 50 years after the original invasion, the result appeared. The alien empire collapsed. Its fleets were destroyed. Its colonies surrendered. And humanity had become a powerful interstellar civilization. The hologram faded away. The room was quiet again. Ralvek felt his throat tighten slightly. That is only a simulation," he said. "Yes," the elder replied, "but it follows a pattern we have seen many times." Ralvek looked confused. "Many times." The elder nodded slowly. "Across the galaxy, whenever humans face a stronger opponent, they evolve." He pointed gently toward the image of Earth. "Every enemy becomes a teacher. Every defeat becomes a lesson. And every war makes them stronger." The strategist spoke again. "There is another problem, Commander." Ralvek turned toward him. "What problem?" The strategist's voice became very serious. "Humans remember their enemies." The chamber grew colder. "If someone attacks them," the strategist continued, "they do not forget. They may forgive, but they never forget." The elder finished the thought quietly. "And once humanity becomes strong enough, they will eventually return the favor." Ralvek looked again at the peaceful blue world floating in the hologram. Now, he imagined something else. Human fleets, human warships, human armies traveling across the galaxy. The idea made him uneasy. He swallowed slowly. So if someone invades Earth... He paused. They create their own future enemy. The elder nodded. Exactly. The chamber remained silent for several seconds. Finally, Ralvek spoke again. But what if humanity reaches the stars peacefully? The elder looked at him thoughtfully. That, he said quietly, is the future we hope for. But the elder's expression became serious again. Because if humanity reaches the galaxy through war... He slowly looked around the chamber at all the leaders present. The galaxy will face something it has never seen before. Ralvek felt a strange chill. What would that be? He asked. The elder's voice was soft. A civilization that learned how to conquer the stars while fighting for its survival. The great chamber of the Galactic Council was silent once again. Commander Ralvek stood beneath the glowing hologram of Earth. The blue planet turned slowly in the air above him. Its oceans shine like glass under the light of distant stars. But now, Ralvek no longer saw a weak world. He saw a planet full of potential, dangerous potential. The simulation of the future invasion had ended, but its message was still clear in everyone's mind. Ralvek looked around the chamber at the ancient leaders of the galaxy. Only a short time ago, he had walked into this meeting full of confidence. He believed his empire had discovered a simple opportunity for expansion. Now that confidence had disappeared. Instead, he felt something very different, respect and caution. Still, he had one final question. He turned toward the oldest elder in the chamber. If the danger is so great, Ralvek asked carefully, why has the council never contacted humanity directly? The elder looked thoughtful for a moment. Then he slowly walked closer to the center platform. Because humanity is still young, he said. The hologram changed again. Now it showed Earth's recent history. Cities growing larger. Satellites orbiting the planet. Human spacecraft exploring their solar system. They are only beginning their journey into space, the elder explained. Many civilizations in the galaxy went through similar stages. The elder pressed a control, and the projection zoomed out. Earth became smaller as the solar system appeared around it. We watch them, the elder continued. We study them, but we do not interfere. Ralvek frowned slightly. Why not guide them? The elder looked at him with calm eyes. Because civilizations must grow on their own. He pointed gently toward the small blue world. Humanity must learn its own lessons. Another council member spoke from across the chamber. This one belonged to an ancient aquatic species whose civilization had existed for millions of years. Our people once tried to guide a young species, the aquatic leader said. We gave them advanced technology. Ralvek listened carefully. What happened? The aquatic leader's voice became heavy. They destroyed themselves with it. The chamber remained quiet. The elder continued explaining. Power given too early can destroy a civilization. Humans must reach the stars through their own effort. The hologram now showed human rockets launching from Earth. Each launch represented progress. Each mission represented a step forward. They are curious, the elder said. They explore. They build. And most importantly, he paused for a moment. They learn. Ralvek slowly nodded. He was beginning to understand the council's decision. Another council member then spoke. This one was the strategist who had analyzed human warfare earlier. There is also another reason we avoid interfering. Ralvek looked at him. What reason? The strategist folded his long hands together. Humans are suspicious. The chamber gave quiet sounds of agreement. If aliens suddenly appeared above their world, the strategist explained, many humans would panic. Some would welcome us. But many would prepare for war. Ralvek thought about that for a moment. Yes, he admitted. Their history shows many examples of conflict. The strategist nodded. Exactly. He pointed to the hologram of Earth again. At this moment, humanity believes it is alone in the universe. That belief protects them. Ralvek looked confused. How? The strategist answered calmly. Because if humans discover the galaxy peacefully, they will explore it peacefully. The elder finished the thought. But if their first contact is an invasion, he paused. They will grow into something very different. Ralvek understood immediately. something stronger, something more aggressive, something far more dangerous. The chamber fell silent again. Ralvek looked once more at the planet Earth. Clouds moved across its oceans. Sunlight reflected from its atmosphere. From space, it looked calm and beautiful. It was hard to imagine that such a world could produce a species feared by the galaxy. Finally, Ralvek lowered his head slightly. "I understand now," he said quietly. "My proposal was unwise." The elder gave a small approving nod. Wisdom often begins with understanding our mistakes. Ralvek turned toward the council members. "My empire withdraws the proposal to invade Earth." Soft lights across the chamber brightened slightly. The tension in the room slowly faded. The council leader raised his staff and spoke. "The motion to invade Earth is officially rejected." The decision echoed through the giant hall. Ralvek felt relief wash over him. But the elder had one final message to deliver. He walked toward the center platform and looked up at the hologram of Earth. His voice was calm but powerful. "Let this meeting be recorded in the archives of the Galactic Council." The chamber listened carefully. Earth is not to be invaded. Humanity is not to be provoked. Humanity is to be observed and respected. The elder paused. His glowing eyes reflected the small blue planet. "Because one day," he said quietly, "humans will leave their world and travel among the stars." The council members watched the hologram silently. The elder continued, "And when that day comes," he slowly looked around the chamber at every leader present. "The galaxy must decide whether humanity becomes a friend or a very powerful enemy." No one spoke. The council meeting slowly ended. Alien leaders began leaving the chamber one by one. Commander Ralvek stayed behind for a moment longer. He looked at Earth one last time. Before this meeting, he saw it as a target. Now he saw something else. A rising civilization. A sleeping giant. Ralvek whispered quietly to himself before turning away. "Invade Earth." He shook his head. "No." Then he walked toward the exit. Far above the chamber, the hologram of Earth continued spinning peacefully in the darkness of space. Unaware that somewhere in the galaxy, an entire council had just decided that humanity was far too dangerous to challenge.